going to read you either a 0 or a negative number because it doesn't have any thickness. There's no thickness of the foil.
Oh.
Okay, so I'll get rid of that number to start with.
Delete. So it should never be negative.
Well, it's okay if you're just going with the raw metal to start it out with.
Okay.
Because the first thing it asks you to do is define 0. That's what it means by hitting the base.
Oh,
You can calibrate. It says base material. That's the raw metal.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're doing first to start out with is you're finding 0. You're finding where there is no thickness of anything. You're finding 0. So you do that 5 times. You try, like I say, you always try to make it hit flat.
5 times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then hit enter. And then it gives you the first value, which is the 0.46 mils. And then you do the same thing there. Then try to stay in the circle. Outside, it's no different. You can do it over here, but they always say stay in the circle. 5 times again, and then once again trying to keep it flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside the circle. It doesn't have to be perfect, as long as it's in there somewhere. Okay, and you can see we got a 0.46 and a 0.46 is what I wanted. Let's see, but I'm going to check it anyway just to make sure. So I'll go down 1 and then up. Because see, it rounded it off.
Oh.
It was 0.455 and it rounded it off to 0.46. So I always check this to make sure it didn't round it off, because it definitely did. And then I go up to 9, and now that says 0.460 because it gives you 3 places.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so then I hit enter, and I go to it once 0.87, and that's 0.87. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now it says 0.87, but once again, it might not be right or wrong, so I'll check it either. It doesn't matter if I go up or down. See, and it's a 0.872, not actually quite a 0.870. So I'll take it down to 0.870, two places. Now it says 0. And then I press enter to set it and lock it in there, just like I did before with the 46. And then it says 1 point calibration. Really, it's 2 points. And the reason it says 1 point is because at the factory they do a much wider range. We do a very tight range, and they consider this tight range here to be 1 point, because this is from 1 mil to 10 mil in the factory, and we don't even do a solid 1 mil. We do like from 0.46 mil to 0.87 mil, which is to them is a very tight range. Okay, now the calibration is done, and we found it at. It wasn't really reading that far off. We found it at 0.455, which is actually within range. Okay, so now I check to see how close to a 0.46 we are. 0.42. And now
Oh, that's why I took it to you.
Okay, now it's the way I had it set on, or I didn't have it set straight. Make sure there's no. Okay, now I'm going to clear it. Let's go. Delete those numbers and start over. Okay, now it's reading a 0.422. Now your form here says that it can be within 0.03 mils. So 0.03 mils. So if it's got to be a 4.6 and it's reading a 4.2, it's actually 0.008 off of being just within range. So we'll calibrate it again. Just find out if this thing's just going out of spec, and then back. It might be reading the range too much instead of being tight. I'm not too sure if this foil is beat up in the middle. It is a little bit beat up in the middle, even though you can still see the circles. Off to the side here, you can see that somebody used it over here a lot. This one off to the side isn't very beat up.
Yeah, I've seen people do it almost in the middle, which I don't know.
Well, you actually, the foil is the same thickness this whole area.
Oh. Okay.
But they only guarantee the middle of it,
Yeah.
and the reason they do that is because it's a money thing for them. You use it up faster if you only use one spot. And then I see, but technically, it comes off of a roll, and then they just stamp a circle, and there's the ink. You could wipe it off with your finger, you know, the circle. It's just ink or paint, you know. So yeah, I mean, up on the line, they wipe it off all the time when they try to clean it, and they wipe the circle off, you know. And it's like, and it's still foil still looks great, but the circle's gone, you know. So anyway, I'll get rid of that. I'll get rid of that number, and I'll calibrate it again, and I'll show you what I mean by off to the side here. Calibrate first base material again, which is the raw metal.